Ambitious, but brilliant! I don't believe it! I swear I do not believe it! And they are back on terms!
Hello, welcome to New York Talk, the Rotherham United podcast. You may be wondering why I'm doing the intro. You will find out very, very shortly. Won't we, Matthew?
I'll find out pretty quickly, I think, yeah.
It's like doing a podcast with Scooby-Doo.
Seems to be a little bit of an issue with one or two voices on here. I thought mine was pretty bad, to be honest, but it would appear that Matthew was, may well have damaged his voice box at some stage, and I don't even know when that could have possibly been.
Who knows when that could have happened? Who knows?
Anyway, over to you, man.
Yeah, thanks for that, Nick. Thanks for the intro. Thank you very much. So sorry about this. I've tried everything, and this is the best we're going to get today, I'm afraid. I am sorry.
Like sweet scoop.
I've tried cuff sweets, I've tried ice cream, I've tried hot water, cold water. This is it. This is what we've got, everybody. Sorry.
This is going to be a long episode, this, and it's got with very little content, probably.
Honestly, he's taken so much effort to talk. It's so much effort, this, but we'll manage. We'll get through it. Anyway, Will, save us. Will's with us. Hello, Will.
Hello. I've actually got a voice, so one out of 4 is not bad, I guess. Good to be back, lads.
And Danny, your voice is not terrible.
Yeah, mine's not too bad. I think it's my legs that have took the biggest amount of damage. I could barely walk back to the coach yesterday because you've got that goal, and then you've got the bouncing up and down for Free From Desire. I couldn't walk afterwards.
Yeah, it was a great day in the end at Wembley. We'll cover everything from the 6 goals to everything. Oh God, thank you everybody for joining us. Gav Grundy is with us, John Insliffe. Michael Mortimer says, hi guys, what a win yesterday. After that, his voice is going. I know the feeling, mate. I know how you feel. Paul Brooks with us, thank you for joining us. Paul, Harvey Kelwick, and Donna, Conor Redmond. Danny, thanks for helping him with his proposal yesterday. Danny, do you want to
No worries. Yeah, no worries. It was a great honour. I don't know if the videos are up on Connor's face, but it were amazing. We all lined up. We all had shirts on. And it said, "Will you marry me?" And he proposed to his missus, and she said yes. So congratulations to Connor and Annabelle. Great day to celebrate getting engaged, isn't it?
Absolutely. Exactly. Congratulations. It's on days like yesterday, it's difficult to know exactly where to start. Because if we start at the beginning, it's a bit of a downer. So, Mick, where would you like to start?
I don't know, to be honest with you, mate. What a wonderful day. You know, for everybody. It was just, I don't know. There's lots of things to say about this competition, and there's one or two things I probably will say at some stage during the course of this podcast about it, but you cannot take away the memories that we all made yesterday. I don't know. It's difficult, isn't it? You know, I've got a bit of a conflict going on for me because I had such a wonderful day. You know, with family and friends and kids and just people that we met. I mean, we'll go on to that, I'm sure. Because I met some great people yesterday, you know, and it's bittersweet for me. It's bittersweet because of the nature of this competition and what the EFL are doing to it, and it feels as though I know I'm going to put a downer on it, and we can do it now, but we'll do it at the beginning, and then at least everybody's happy at the end, you know. And it's just the EFL are there to benefit the club and clubs and supporters. That is their mission. That is their mantra. However, you know, the EFL are complicit and encouraging the possibility that one day all those emotions that we experienced yesterday will be taken away from a football league club. You know, it could be taken away from Rotherham United or Sutton United or anybody else at a lower league for some nondescript under 23 Premier League side to go and win that competition. And I just I find it incredibly sad after a day like yesterday, you know, the emotions that we all went through and how we feel about it now. And, you know, looking back through Twitter today and some of the videos that are on there, it's just a wonderful, wonderful place to be, you know, and then that could be taken away from us by the EFL. And I find it a bit, that's where my conflict is. But having said that, you know, we'll always continue to go, won't we? Because of, and I suppose that's what organisations like that rely on, the fact that we're not going to disappear. But yeah, that's the downer. What a wonderful day. What a wonderful, wonderful day.
Yes. Yeah, it was. Then it was nice to see you in Box Park yesterday. And we went to Box Park. It was part of the reason why the voice has gone, to be honest with you. But yeah, it was great, Danny. It's just a day. What talking me through your day? When did it start and leading up to the game?
My day started at about 7:30. Getting picked up and going to the pub. We had bacon sandwiches and pints at the pub, and credit to everyone who were running buses down there. You made a great job of it. Buses were mint going down. And then, yeah, I had to start off mate's proposal and then start off again to go and do an interview with Dream Team, which was great. And I won a free pizza, so I'm buzzing already. I competed against a Sutton fan called Alex, and yeah, I won the game, so happy days. Met you guys in Box Park and dropped off little flags and such there. And then, yeah, made it into Wembley and met back up with everybody and ended up having a fantastic day, absolutely fantastic day. But the bus going back was very quiet because we were all just knackered. All energy had gone from everybody after that.
Yeah. Reece Kellett with us, evening all. What a day yesterday was. We thought we'd lost it, and boom, aside two sends and listening to a frenzy. His voice was like mine this morning. Yeah, coming to the goals. Well, I didn't see you yesterday, but I assume leading up to the game, you had a really good day as well.
Yeah, I mean, my day started slightly differently. My friend drove down yesterday and he fetched his girlfriend who'd been foolishly on a night out the day before. She spent the first sort of hour of the journey sort of trying to prop herself up, and it was her first journey to Wembley. So interesting start for her. But yeah, I mean, really memorable day. Just surrounded by so many great people that I haven't seen for a while, and just to come together for such an amazing moment when we a couple of people that I went with missed Shrewsbury, sadly. So it was the same clan that went to Leyton Orient, and we took his grandma on the day that day, and sadly she's passed away since. So, we took a scarf along with us, and it was almost like she was with us at the same time. So it felt really poignant, really emotional for me. And, Papa John's and what they're doing with the trophy is not great, but the memories that it will serve, just I will never forget yesterday.
Yeah, completely agree. What I did, I talked before, I took 6-year-old down to take her down and be at Wembley for watching it all unfold. It's just incredible. What a day. Mick mentioned we had the pleasure of meeting Victor's dad yesterday pre-game. We saw Tobias and his friends in Box Park. If you listen or watching Tobias, hello. What I will say is he is an absolute giant of a man. He is so big. He was lovely, wasn't he, Mick?
Yeah, absolutely, Brill. I even managed to photo bomb a picture of me and my wife as well, which was great. Top fella, absolute top man. And great to meet him and his friends as well have all come over from Sweden. I think he's talking about coming over for the Ipswich game as well at Easter, I think. So hopefully we'll be able to catch up with him again and have a few beers with him. Great fella and really lovely to meet him.
Yeah. And we also got collared by Michael Smith's mother-in-law. She called as well, Chris, if you're listening as well. Nice to meet you. And
they were proper dressed up, weren't they?
Yeah, look well, very well. And I had one of my most uncool moments ever yesterday in Box Park. We were having a pint with Ben, and then Holloway went, and I played it dead cool. I went, "It's Ian Holloway!" Really, really uncool. Proper uncoolest thing I've ever done in my life.
And that, ladies
as
and
soon as I
gentlemen,
said, "Oh God!" Yeah, I just crawled back into my t-shirt as it went past. It was really terrible.
I just a shout out for Box Park. I really enjoyed it. What a venue that is!
Brilliant,
fantastic venue for for football fans, particularly obviously because it was only Rotherham United supporters in that. I don't think it would have made a difference had there been Sutton in there as well. But it's really, really good. And considering it's in London, the prices weren't that bad at all. And the food, and man alive, the food is worth going for just of itself. You pay probably 10, 12 quid for the food, which sounds a lot until you see how much you get. And you only need to buy one lot for two people. It was enormous. Fantastic venue. Really, really good.
Yeah, it was. Andrew Kelly's voice isn't much better than mine. He's going to enjoy this podcast. Russ Bailey says, I won't be seeing the podcast out. I'll be doing my very, very best. Down in London, things that sound like ghastly. Motley, she's put it further down, sorry. And Liam McGarry's with me. No voice as well.
Donna, do you mean he sounds like Dick Dastardly?
She did put that further down. Wacky Racers.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the start of the game when the teams got announced. The only real news, really, that Victor were playing. And we talked about it pre-show, pre-match, and I was fine with it. It didn't really matter in terms of who was playing. So there's not much talking point there, I suppose. I'm asking you a question without asking you a question.
I think most of us expected Victor to play. Josh wasn't going to be risked given his hand situation. I guess my only surprise initially was Mattock coming into the side, which on reflection probably was the right decision. Probably not the decision that I'd have made, but that's the reason I'm not sat in a dugout. And he proved us all wrong on the day, didn't he?
Yeah. Mick, Vickers wasn't on the bench. And I might be reading too much into this, but Vickers wasn't on the bench, and that concerns me.
Does it? I mean, it would concern me if we didn't have Victor.
No, what I mean is it might be a problem. Vickers would have been on the bench had he been fit. That is my concern.
Yeah, it could be a problem. It could be a problem, and if it is, it is. There's nothing we can do about it. But with, like I say, you've got literally a like for like replacement. You know that Victor's going to come in and he's going to do just as good a job. So I don't. It'd be sad. It'd be sad for Josh Vickers if his injury is such that it's going to keep him out for a game or two or whatever. However, like I said, we've got Victor there, so I have no concerns in that at all personally. Unless he gets injured, obviously. Then worse. Yeah, we'll do. I'm sure that end the podcast.
It's getting loads worse. Brilliant. And then the game kicked off, Danny. And to say it was not a great performance, certainly the first half, or certainly first hour, for me is about right. I don't think we got into gear. I thought Sutton were brilliant. And it took us a long time to get into the game, and they deserved their lead, both leads.
Yeah, I think they just grew into the game quicker, really, didn't they? They matched up to the occasion a lot better than we did to start with, and took the chances a lot better as well. I think it were a few minutes before we equalised the second time, and it showed the stats on the big screen, and Sutton had only had 2 shots on target and they'd scored twice. So they were just organised and just took the chances. And unfortunately, their first goal came from a mistake from Smithy, of all people, in defence.
Yeah.
Why he was in defence, I don't know. But he just didn't clear the ball. They picked it up and they scored from it. But just giving that a fleeting word, then moving on very quickly. What a goal from Ben Wiles. Oh, my God. He's giving Alex Ravello a run for his money into with that one. I still think Ravello just pips him, but Wiles has cemented that second place now, hasn't he? Good grief.
Yeah, it was brilliant. And I think after that goal, Will, I know it was only 3 minutes till half time, and then they scored 4 minutes after half time. But that very short period, I felt like we were going into the game. Our goal changed the game a little bit, and then they scored again, and it went back to a trend again, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of people saying that they didn't think we played very well as a whole yesterday. And I think if you break the game down, there were a lot of periods within that game that we actually won. Just looking at the stats from yesterday, for example. Oh, it's just gone on me, which is unbelievably great timing.
At least your voice hasn't gone on you, Will.
Yeah, one step ahead. We actually won both halves, first half and second half, in terms of XG. So we created the better chances both halves, which is interesting. I thought Sutton might have won first half, but it felt like they were a side that were very well oiled and knew what they needed to do. And we felt it looked like we were very ring rusty for the first 35 minutes, I would say. We've not played for a while, and they'd been playing Saturday, Tuesday while we haven't. So they were, I think, right at it from the very beginning, and it took us a while to grow into the game. But when we did, I thought we were the better side. Some people might disagree with that, but hey ho, that's football, that's opinions, isn't it? But yeah, we grew into the game, and I thought second half especially we were good value for something out of the game, and luckily 96th minute we just about got there, didn't we?
Just very, very just. I suppose we give more credit to Ben Wiles, Mick. The goal itself was amazing, but as Paul Warne said, he was the best player on pitch, Ben Wiles. He was so good yesterday.
Then nobody came close for me. I know there's been a lot of talk about Fergie changing the game and Wes Harding having a great game when he came on, and that those 2 points are absolutely valid. But for me, I have to be honest with you, there is no way anybody came close to Ben Wiles. I thought he was absolutely outstanding yesterday. In everything that he did. I mean, I know he gave the ball away a couple of times, but as did everyone else. You know, if you're picking up on a player like Ben Wiles and you can say that he's giving the ball away, then he must be doing something else right for the rest of the time for me. And that goal from him, it's probably the second best goal ever scored at Wembley. No, obviously not, but you know, it was a hell of a strike, and credit to JJ as well, because the way he controlled the ball and then just laid it off for Ben Wiles, and that little dummy just sent 2 or 3 defenders the wrong way, and there it went sailing into top corner. I mean, you couldn't write the script, you know, for a player like Ben Wiles coming through the academy, a Rotherham lad, born and bred, to score a goal like that at Wembley. I just, you know, I could cry for the lad. It must be. I cannot imagine the feeling. I can't. I love him. I absolutely adore the lad. He is brilliant and man of the match by a country mile for me yesterday. Country mile.
He was nearly crying himself when he scored as well, because I've watched the replay back on Sky, because you need to record these things, don't you?
Yeah.
And when Wiles scores, he has his initial celebration, but the way he hugs Joe Mattock, he's nearly crying, bless him. So you can actually see how much it meant to him. The way he struck the ball, like you say, Mick, he sent the defenders the wrong way, steadied himself, and he's hit it like a putting wedge in golf. He's just scooped it up. It's just dipped and dinked off the crossbar. So what a finish! Tell you what, the top 10 goals at Wembley, at least 6 of them are going to be us, aren't they?
Can we just address the Sutton United Twitter feed as well for calling that a well-placed loop? Because I think it's a little bit better than that.
Yes, it's much better than that. Oh, poor that.
I don't know what does that mean.
Is a loop a southern
They
version
wrote
of a
it, we
loop?
might have to ask them.
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess in other sports you could place a looped shot, but I'm not convinced in football there's very many players have got the ability to well place a looped shot.
So for me, a loop's where it does like a loop-de-loop and it goes round in a circle. And if you can score one of them, why are you playing for Rotherham? You know what I mean?
It'd have to go really high. For me, it has to go really, really high and come back down. And it just sort of stays at the same level.
It was just a dipping strike,
I
wasn't
suppose
it?
what you could describe as a well placed loop is, let me think, Ravel. Yeah, that was a well placed loop.
Maybe. Yeah, there we go. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the goal. The goal. Well, Jordy aside 2-2. I just relive the moment every time I say his word and say his name, and I have not celebrated a goal like that in a long time. That was so special. 96 minutes at Wembley in a final to get you back in game. I mean, it was just what it's all about.
This is the first time that I'll say this on a podcast, and hope for the last. But in the 92nd minute, I actually said to the friend sat next to me, "Ref, you might as well blow up now." I'd written us off. It didn't look like we were going to get back into the game. And then when Jordy Asay 2-2 picked up that ball, a little heart flutter in there, but I didn't at any point really think that it was going to happen. And when I saw it hit the net, it was similar to Rev's feelings, because I remember watching the ball, because I was sat quite low for that final, watching the ball loop over the keeper's head and nestling in that corner. And it just felt so special. And, you know, the place just went absolutely balmy. Best scenes at season by far. I don't care if... There we go, I'll take that. I don't care if... I don't even care anymore. Like, it's just back into the game. I have no words. What a huge, huge moment for our season, because 5 minutes before it looks very, very different. And we're coming away from Wembley and saying, you know, are we good enough to maintain this? And I think now we're probably coming away as a club united, as a fan base united, feeling that we can now really kick on and do this automatic promotion.
Yeah, you get these moments in football, Mick. I mean, it is generally a handful of moments watching football. I mean, I go back to the Alan Lee goal, the goals at Hillsborough in the early 2000s, the Alex Ravel goal, the Woody goals. That was up there as the greatest moments I can remember watching my club. Yeah. It's in that category. And it's why I watch football. It's why we go through all these crap moments in League Two back in days, in times this season, relegations. It's to live those moments. And it's just, well, I will describe it. I will never forget that moment, ever. It was so special.
It's something that non-football supporters, I don't think, ever understand, you know. And you're right. Those few seconds are the reason we go to football. It doesn't matter who you support. If you're a football supporter, particularly of a non-Premier League club, you know, those are the moments you live for. They really are. And to be fair, you know, to be fair to Sutton, they'd already had two of those moments within the game themselves. You know, to be a club coming up from non-league, to be playing in Wembley in your first season as a Football League club with a possibility of winning a trophy, and to be 2-0 up against the top of the division above you, you know, I mean, they had those moments as well. But for us, yeah, you're right. It was just, it's indescribable. It really is. The feeling is just indescribable. The only way to describe the feeling is the way that you react at the time, which is basically just mental. I mean, that's why your voice is like it is. That's why my voice is like it is. Thanks to Asai Tutu, you know, we can blame him. It was a dream for me. It was a dream for me as a dad that it's got to be the best dad joke ever, isn't it? That 2-2 makes it 2-2. I was just so pleased. I mean, I've been saying it since he came, that sooner or later he's going to make it 2-2. And my God, what a way to do it. 96th minute out of 97. Listen, just amazing feeling. And I think Will just said it there. From that point on, the game was over.
I think we need to touch on Jordi Asay 2-2 as well at this point, because we've talked about how it felt for us as well. But this is a guy that has really struggled with injuries, 2 big injuries, been over to Germany and obviously worked his way through Arsenal's academy. And this is his first professional goal. So to do it at that moment with such composure was just absolutely unbelievable. And he will never, ever forget that.
Neither will we.
Yeah, absolutely. Danny, add to it.
They say don't fall in love with lone players, don't they? But after that, you can't not love Aussie 2-2. I mean, the absolute pandemonium that he caused in our end was something special. I don't know if you've seen my little clip on Twitter, but it's absolute chaos when he scores. I think everyone within a 5-seat radius got a hug off me, and just wow. I mean, you watch Ravel's goal back and see the limbs in that end when he scores, and I wasn't involved in that, but now I've got my own little slice of history. I was involved in the Rotherham limbs with one of the latest goals at Wembley, and you know, only great teams win 4-2 in a final at Wembley, don't they?
It's true.
Yeah.
Only the best.
Love it.
Yeah. What a day. What a moment. What a moment.
His first professional goal, by the way, ever.
Yeah.
Not just for us, but ever. So what a way. What a way to get your first one. Fair play to him.
He said on Sky interview, didn't he, that he dreamt about it. He dreamt the night before, he dreamt about scoring at Wembley. I think even he didn't dream it had happened that dramatically, though.
I'll say if he's had that sort of premonition, can we have the lottery numbers, please?
Yeah. Yeah. It can happen with loan players where they get lost. They come in on loan and don't do very well or do okay, and they get forgotten about. He will never be forgotten by Rotherham fans. He'll go down with Nigel Jemson as maybe a short-term loan that will be remembered forever. So if you're listening, that's like 2-2. Thank you.
So we're not
even done. It's only second goal. According to Warney, Will, and the players, they didn't even know extra time. They were getting ready for pens. But as soon as it kicked off, we were going to win that with our game then.
I mean, the game, before we actually get into extra time, I hope you won't mind, but I'm going to take us back to the 60th minute or so, because, you know, Sutton had been unbelievable for those 60 minutes, and they'd played, you know, I think 3-5-2 or 4-4-2 against our 3-5-2, which we know very well from our time playing 4-4-2. You have so much emphasis on those wide areas, and they had a lot of joy through David Ajiboye playing one-on-one against
a hell of a player, that lad.
Yeah, 100%. Had a lot of joy against Joe Mattock one-on-one, and Warney and his coaching team in that 60th minute went to 4-4-2. We changed it up. We fetched on Wes Harding. We fetched on Shane Ferguson, and Ladapo came on as well. And I personally think that's what won us the game. Those changes in those big moments. Warney is criticised week in, week out when he doesn't make these decisions that get us points, or you know, we don't perform. So we've got to give him the plaudits for doing the right thing on the day as well. What a manager. I would not change that guy for anyone in the EFL. You can take whoever you want. I absolutely love him, and you can slag me off as much as you want. You can tell me I'm an happy clapper. I am warning. He's wow. Yeah, I don't have words.
Yeah, I could not agree more. I'm with you on that, Will. I'll fight anybody that argues against it. Could not agree more.
As long as you don't have to shell out, that will be all right.
As long as well.
So you don't have to shout at them.
Yeah, unfortunately. So, yeah, it was the changes. I agree, Mick. I agree with you all tonight. Those changes to 4-4-2. It changed the game. It brought Chew into the game a bit more.
Yeah.
Ellis Harding was superb. Shane Ferguson was the best half an hour of his Rotherham, 45 minutes because of his extra time. What was his best spell in a Rotherham shirt so far? All the subs he brought on were superb, and the tactical changes made everybody on the pitch better.
It brought us back to playing the way that we have been playing for the beginning of the season, albeit in a different formation. You know, the confidence just oozed through them, and we started playing proper football like the football we played that got us into the position we are in the league now. And yeah, I mean, Warney's so sort of self-deprecating, isn't he? You know, saying I didn't realise there were going to be extra time. I look like a tactical genius. Well, mate, the tactical change came like Will said there on 60 minutes, 65 minutes, whatever it was. And that's you're right. That is what won us the game because it freed up Chio down that right hand side, and crucially for the goal, it freed up Jody say 2-2 on the left hand side. If there's two players that you don't want freeing up as an opposition player, as an opposition team, those are the two. You know, they've got pace to burn, and by that time, Sutton were tiring. You know, they were really tiring. 3 or 4 players had already gone down with cramp. So we always felt, I felt 7 minutes was not generous enough, personally, for the amount of time that should have been added on. I was hoping for about 8 or 9, to be perfectly honest, just because of, well, obviously because of the position we were in, but I just felt that the amount of time that the referee had allowed Sutton, quite rightly, to try and slow the game down, you know, with the substitutions and everything else, and a couple of injuries, I felt that was fine. Yeah, Warney, I love him. I never thought I'd ever said I love a man, but I do love that man. Not in that way, obviously.
Yeah, you know, all right. Yeah, I agree. Sutton podcast is with us. Thank you for joining us. I hope I say enjoying this, but I don't think you are enjoying this. He says you wish the ref had listened to you well and blow up any time from 92nd to 95th would have done. Before we get into the extra time, Danny, let's stop and give credit to Sutton, because I thought they were excellent, and I thought they were really, really unlucky not to have that trophy right now. They probably just about deserved it, but it's football. These things happen, and moments like 2-2s happen, and they were so unlucky.
Yeah, I think over the whole 90 minutes, yeah, probably they did deserve the trophy, but at a time, it's exceptional. But yeah, all credit goes to Sutton. I mean, first season in the EFL, first season playing in the EFL trophy, and they've played an absolute blinder both in league and cup. You know, if it's your first entry to a competition, excuse me, and you reach a final, fair play to you. You know, and I'm sure a lot of Rotherham fans thought we'd walk over him a little bit, you know, with them being a League Two team, you know, and us being top of League One. But if you had the vision to see, no, they're going to give us a close game, they'll be up for it, like me and Will did, just to pat a send on the back there. Yeah, they gave us a really, really good game. For a neutral, that final must have been absolutely amazing. You know, like the underdog leading 2-1 for the majority of the second half, and then the bigger club getting the last minute winner. Yeah, it made for a really great final. And even though Sutton lost in the end, I think they can hold their heads high and go, you know what, we gave top of League One a really, really good game. And don't look at it as a negative, Sutton fans. Take it as a feather in your cap and go, you know what, we could compete with League One next season if we get there. And a few people are saying that they could get into the playoffs in League Two. And I hope they use this game as a kick-on and they do achieve that. I'm not really one for following teams down south, especially in the south side of London, but I've got a little bit more respect for Sutton now. And I think I speak for a lot of Rotherham fans by saying we'll be keeping an eye on their results for the rest of the season as well.
Yeah. And to be fair to them, well, they've drawn with Wigan, who are second, and Rotherham, who are top of league above them. That's brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, they'll be really disappointed that they've not taken away a trophy with like a minute and a half to go, I think. And I send all my my best wishes to Sutton. We've been in that situation where you're so close and don't quite get there last season. So I know what it's like to have that dagger in the heart. I'm sure that you keep the likes of Ajiboye and the centre back. The name escapes me. It went off with cramp. Fit. And I think you'll be right up there. I know League Two is really tight at the moment, but you've got really good attacking options that causes a lot of issues yesterday. So best luck for the rest of the season, pal. And fingers crossed you can be competing in League One next season. Hopefully, we don't see you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
100%. Down in London, their manager showed great sportsmanship, shaking every Rotherham player's hands at the end of the game on the way back down from getting the trophy. Great, absolute class. Into extra time, Mick, and 6 minutes into injury time, we got the goal. 6 minutes into extra time, we got the goal. Chio, the Irish Chio, turned up. And it was a goal. What a stunning goal!
Yeah, when you say we love Paul Warne, you've got to love Chio as well, haven't you? What a character! Even off the pitch, taking away his ability on the pitch, what an absolute gem of a bloke he clearly is. And then, like you said, then the Republic of Irishmen came out on him. And an absolute screamer, an absolute screaming goal. It was just, what else can you say? Love him, absolutely love him, and I love him even more now after that. I mean, they were just beautiful, a thing of absolute beauty. But they were dead on the feet. You've all given credit to Sutton, and they were excellent, but the fitness levels showed at that point, didn't they? And they were really dead on the feet. And once that went in, that was the end of the game.
Yeah, it was. And I know Michael Smith didn't have his best game, Danny, but he was highly involved in 3 out of the 4 goals, winning the headers, winning the flick-ons, just being in the way. And I know he didn't score. I know he probably made a mistake for their first goal, but It was still played a brilliant role, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. But bless him, he's still waiting for that Wembley goal with Rotherham. But no, yeah, Smith had a good game other than the mistake for the first goal for Sutton. Excuse me, and like you say, he was involved in 3 out of the 4. And that's what Smithy does well when he's not scoring. He still puts himself about and contributes to the team. He just doesn't go missing when he's not scoring, sort of thing. But yeah, I have to agree with you, Mick. Chio's goal were an absolute screamer. And if you can sort of put this in the same bracket, Rotherham technically still have a brace at Wembley for this final, but not a player brace, a minute brace, because we scored twice in the 96th minute. So technically, in brackets, we've scored a brace every single Wembley final. All right, the 5th one's a minute brace, not a player brace, but it still stands.
And the irony, if it was 96 minutes when it was 96 when we won it last as well, is just that lost on me.
Correct.
Oh, football in symmetry, it exists. I've been telling you this for years, Mick. It exists.
I'm beginning to believe you, mate.
Does that mean if we're carrying on the synergy, we can also finish on 96 points? Because I would take that all day long.
There we go.
Yeah.
All day long.
Nailed it. I love it. The Sun podcast, thanks, guys. They're really proud of the team. Hoping this feeling finds Sun for the last 7 games. He's dropping out now because he doesn't want to hear about extra time. That's fair enough. And Danny, you owe them an apology for missing their podcast and all.
Yes, I do. That Sunday was difficult because we'd just done the 12-hour, hadn't we, gents? And I was just completely written off for that Sunday.
By the way,
So I do apologise, gents. But I made the final, so that's all that counts. But yeah, best of luck for the rest of the season for Sutton. And if we do meet again, I will quite happily get on the podcast again, and I promise I will make it that time.
We'll turn up this time.
Yeah, I'll be there 15 minutes early, trust me.
And then the fourth and final goal. Well, this was much more routine. It was just a corner. Icky's headed it in. It's a great moment for Icky in front of his son, and the pictures of him at the end of the game with his son are just beautiful. And as memories that we have, those players have now as well.
So, don't want to take too much gloss off this, but I actually think this is a foul on the defender.
100%.
Can't jump. I was fully expecting referee to blow up because he'd blown up for pretty much everything else. And yeah, I was expecting it to be ruled out. But you know what? It made that extra time just so much more comfortable, so much more enjoyable. So thank you, Mr. Referee. Great. I mean, I think Michael Ehekwe had also hit the post as well, didn't he? So great for him to get his Wembley goal, and what a moment for him and his family, and you know, something that no one can ever take away from him. He were really important in those set pieces for us, and great to see him on score sheet.
Yeah, and he's been a servant, Mick. He's been here for a few years now, and we talk about players deserving the goals. We all feel Smithy deserved a goal at Wembley. Woody got his a few years ago. Icky deserves a moment like that in a Rotherham shirt.
I think what we're saying with Michael Ehekwe is the birth of a new Richard Wood. I thought this yesterday, you know, just the way he holds himself, the way he is, the way he leads the team, even when Wood is there. I don't know. He will be the next captain for me. I think Woody's starting to fade a little bit now, you know, with the amount of games. You can just tell. So that's another 3 seasons out of him. We're going to get out of him now. I've said that. But yeah, he is a captain. He's a leader. And he fully deserved that. And like you said, the pictures of him with his little boy afterwards are just a thing of absolute beauty. Yeah, great for him. I've got masses of time for that lad because he is going to be a hell of a defender. He's still learning. You know, it's a position that, you know, it takes a lot longer in terms of career length, I guess. It takes a lot more experience to become truly proficient in that position. And he's getting there. He's absolutely getting there. And he, like I said, future Rotherham United captain.
Yeah, if he signs a new contract.
Assuming he signs a new contract, yeah.
Yes, I agree. And then the Olays came, Danny. I mean, how many times do you get to watch your team Olay around Wembley Stadium? It was just amazing.
Yeah, that one, man. Watching that back on Skype, like, wow, that is actually really loud as well. But yeah, how many teams can say they've Olayed at Wembley? You know, I think probably if it were a thing back in '66, we might have done. But yeah, I think it just capped off extra time, because even with Chio's interview, as soon as we scored in the 96th minute, they knew we'd do them in extra time, because bless them, Sutton were dead on the feet after that. I think that's where our fitness came through as well. But yeah, laying around Wembley, the Sky commentator says that's where everyone wants to touch the ball. The worst thing was we booed Ferguson for doing a bad cross and it nearly went in. So it was more of ooh, it just dropped on roof of the net. But yeah, I think it just shows to show how comfortable we were in extra time if we were able to do that. But again, even with Sutton being dead on the feet, they were still trying for at least one more goal. And I think some teams would have just surrendered at that point, and Sutton didn't. They still gave us a game. They still made it end-to-end football and made it just a really good cup final. I always try and look at games without the Rotherham United glasses on to see how it is just as a football match. And this one could go down as one of the best finals in EFL Trophy history, not just for the drama and the lateness of it, but just from it being a really good game of football and two teams who were in opposite leagues really butting heads over the competition. And hopefully it makes the EFL sit and just go, you know what, these two leagues are the more competitive one's in the final. Let's just have it between those two again, or maybe bring the National League teams into it. Let's get rid of the Premier League lot, because when one of those reaches a final, that's when the competition dies. As long as you've got, I think one thing to make it really competitive is when two League Two teams have a bash at each other in the final. That'll make really good viewing. League One and League Two are still really good viewing. League One and League One, yeah, okay. But, you know, this is what it means to these football clubs. It's two clubs that won't really win much silverware in the competitions. Like Sutton'S last Wembley final was 41 years ago, and it was the FA Trophy. You know, Rotherham's last Wembley final in a cup competition was 1996. So it's two teams that haven't won cup competition silverware in a generation or two generations, really going at it for that next piece. And it's made for a really thrilling football game, which you didn't really see when Sunderland were in it or Portsmouth were in it, because they're like the fallen big team sort of thing. But, you know, the attendance was quite low for Wembley, but the teams really, the fans really got behind the teams. And I think that's why the attendance police are out saying, oh, well, we got 30,000 for Sunderland against Gillingham. Yeah, it don't matter. You know, because these two teams don't win trophies that often, but they've still given a right go at each other for it. And unfortunately, quality and fitness prevailed for Rotherham in the end. And if you can hear something in the background, that's the dog snoring because he's fallen asleep.
It sounded like me laughing.
Yeah, that's the dog put to sleep. Yeah, it really made for a thrilling game of football, but to have Ole's just capped it off for me, and it made the atmosphere build. And can I just say, the rendition of "Freed from Desire" at the end, like I can safely say that Rotherham United are better at bouncing than Sheff Wednesday, because the amount of bodies that were bouncing in that end at Wembley was fantastic. Absolutely sensational. They were bouncing on the pitch and they were bouncing in the stands. It was amazing.
And to top it all, while we were bouncing, that didn't get interrupted by an opposition goal either.
Exactly.
Just before we get to the scenes at the end, I've just got a message through. Shane Ferguson actually has been arrested for crimes against humanity because he sent one of their midfielders for a hot dog 3 times in a row. And that should not go unnoticed.
No, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, that was pure filth from Fergie, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. It was.
On page 3, that. Good grief.
That was really, really just complete Mickey taking, wasn't it? I mean, the first one was a bit of a Mickey take, and then I thought, I'll try it again. Oh, I'll have another go. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. It was superb. Him and Wes, in their own way, were brilliant when they came on. I thought they were brilliant. We already talked about that, but anyway. And then came the full-time whistle, and then comes another moment of celebration. We've won the trophy. It's final. We can't mess it up after the game's finished. And like Danny says, well, the scenes, Free from Desire, New York, the Woody going up them steps. Again, it's just stuff in the memory bank that you'll just never forget.
For me, it was just such a special half an hour or so. What I loved most about Free from Desire is in the middle of those players going absolute berserk is a guy in Will Grigg that hasn't played for the last couple of months because he's been injured, but he's still absolutely at the forefront of this squad. Not one stone goes unturned, and everyone is absolutely together. And it felt like, you know, it's been a really fractious couple of months or so, I think, within the fan base, because we haven't performed to the levels that we had done previously. And for me, that was expected. And, you know, at some point, the bubble was going to burst to some extent. But it felt like at that final whistle, we were all banged together, and we all now feel like, and tell me if I'm wrong, we all now feel like we can absolutely kick on and secure this automatic promotion, possibly even more. But yeah, really, really special to be surrounded by people that were loving the same cause. What an amazing moment, and one that I'd love to relive time and time again.
Yeah. 100%. Down in London, her daughter faced Nevaeh's face, watching her team lift the cup in a 2-2 shirt that he gave her at Hartlepool will never leave her memory. Amazing. Yeah, just amazing. Just amazing. Break off from that. Carl Scott says, I'm turning into Paul Cook. Yeah. Sorry.
You could probably do a better job managing Ipswich than him, Matt.
That's true. That's a good point. Well made.
They're a massive club. They're a massive club. They'll not be able to manage Ipswich. They're far too big for Matt.
Yeah, it was just amazing. And as I said to a Wednesday fan, it's not for everybody winning at Wembley. You know, not everybody can win at Wembley. But Rotherham United, they win at Wembley. That's what we do. We go there and we make it hard. Don't get me wrong. It's never easy. We win at Wembley. Yeah. Mara Palmer, UK. I still have money on us going up automatic and he's not cashing out. It's got to be used as a platform. All the players talked about it making the post-match. It's one of the key things they kept coming back to. This is not it. This is not the end. This can be used and hopefully will be used as a stepping stone to hopefully more silverware.
It's not the end, it's the start. It's the start. And, you know, if Jordi Asaya-Tutu had not hit the back of the net in 96 minutes, the next 7 games would have been, I think, different to how they're going to be now. We've talked before many times about turning points in a season. And I just wonder whether that's going to be the one. That is going to be the one that turns this season back to where it was when we first started. They've got a belief in themselves now. They've shown themselves that they can still perform to the levels that they were performing at prior to sort of Christmas time, and the confidence, the togetherness, not only of the team but the team and the supporters alike. You know, that last half an hour of extra time, or you know, the last 2 minutes of ordinary time, and the following 30, a massive boost to going into these next 7 games, because they've shown themselves and proved to themselves that they've still got it. It never went away. I think the confidence has dropped off over the past few months, and that performance in that half an hour and the subsequent celebrations and, you know, togetherness after that should hopefully now allow them to come out on Saturday against Charlton and understand that, you know, we can go out all guns blazing from the start, or if we end up going 1 behind, we can still pull it back. We're still able to pull it back because we can do it. We do it. That's what we do. I don't know. I just think I'm hoping that it's going to result in a change of mental approach to our game from now on.
Yeah, I hope so. Donna London asks, did my daughter like a flag? Yes, she did. She absolutely loved it. She thought it was great. A little flag truck we were on about. Alex Wasledge, it was great to see Greg in there jumping around with the players. He's played his part, 3 goals in 6 games. Jake Hull was there picking up his medal. He contributed in the early rounds. Mac Warren was there, along with Kirsty Rose up in the stands as well, both featured in the group games. It feels bad for Bowler and Duffy, who started every game prior to the final and didn't make the squad. Yeah, that's true, Danny, but it's good to see him recognised. I thought the picture of Jake Hull getting the trophy, his medal, was special because he's more than played his part in those first 3 games.
Yeah, 100%. I'm quite impressed you made it through that long comment, Matt. It's a fair play.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
But yeah, it's good that every single player who's featured in this competition was there, and they all looked as happy as each other. Like even with the Dauphin and Bowler, they were involved in the on-pitch celebrations, and they were just as happy for this squad. And it really does show the bond between them and the mentality between them, where there's no real individual in that side. They're all for the team and the success of the team. And it's nice to know that all those players will get a medal for this competition as well. Even Kieran Sadlier, I mean, I know he left in a little bit of a disgrace, but even he contributed his weight in this competition. And so I think he quite rightly does deserve a winner's medal for his contributions. And yeah, and those medals and that little asterisk next to the name saying EFL Trophy winner 21-22 will carry with them for the rest of their career. like with Curtis DeRose and Matt Warne, we don't know where they'll end up because we don't all have crystal balls. But wherever they do end up, they'll always have that little piece of history in them in their locker from when they were young lads. And some players who might never appear at Wembley again have always got that winner's medal at a Wembley final. And so that's just what it means to him. And I'm seeing a lot of comments about going 4-4-2 for the rest of the season. Why not? If it's worked so well in this game for us and really shook up the tree, if you like, let's go for it. Because this squad's got the quality to win the league, even though we've had a little bit of a wobble over the last 5 or 6 games. But I saw one stat that says, it was 1 win in 5, but I think it were 9 wins in 14. So it's all about expanding out the bracket, isn't it? I think someone actually asked Paul Warne that question. What do you think of 9 wins in 14? And it just puts it into perspective this season. And I will do so just now. No northern team has ever won the lower league double. It's always been a southern team or a team from the Midlands. Could we be the first to do it? I don't know
if that's good or bad.
You never know. You never know.
I'm not bothered about double. I'm not interested.
It's been a season of firsts this season. We've never scored 4 goals at Wembley, and we have now. We've not won the EFL trophy in its current guise, like with the Universal Trophy, instead of being it's your sponsorship, you have the trophy or whatever. When we've done that now. First team to reach 20 wins in the league. First team to win 80 points in the league. A stellar season, and I think this trophy victory has shown the squad how good they are, and how they can carry it over the line for the next 7 games. So again, I'm just going to reiterate it: just go for it, go for it and make history, because it'll stay with you forever. It'll stay with the fans forever. I think we can look back at 21-22 and just go, actually, you know what, that season was mint.
Exactly, I hope so. On formation, we will talk about 4-4-2 in the next episode, where I can talk a bit better. But Ian Colcroft thinks we should be going 4-2-2-2-2-2-2. Thank you very much, Ian. That's what we like. That's what we like.
But
the big question is, one of the big questions is, can any of you better Dan Barlas's dance moves? Anyone?
I can answer that very, very quickly. No.
Thank you very much.
I would like to second that answer and say no. However, if Dan Barlas ever goes for a night out in the Masons, I would like to challenge him.
End of season, Dan. Come on down to Rotherham. We'll go to a pub and you'll have a dance off with loads of Millers fans. They'd be brilliant. Brilliant. And it was just about mates. So we talked to Will about people spending it with you, people you love, Mick. But on the pitch, all the players were posing for pictures as if they were all mates. Do you know, it didn't look choreographed. It didn't look, you stand here, you stand there. They all wanted to go and stand there with their arms around Jamie Lindsay, with their arm around Smithy, with their arms around Wes. They all look like I look like a party with my mates to getting pictures taken.
Yeah, well, don't win anything with good human beings, do you? Not strictly true, is it? And it just goes to prove, it just goes to cement in everybody's mind what an unbelievable football manager and man manager Paul Warne is. Paul Warne and his team, it's just a credit to him. It's a credit to Tony Stewart for seeing that potential there and allowing it to blossom as well. It's just an absolute fairy tale for us as Rotherham United supporters to have this, to see this unfolding in front of us, and we might not go up this season. There is a possibility that we might not go up. I genuinely believe that we will, and I believe that we will for probably all season, quite honestly, because you can just see the ability there in the manager, in the management team, and in the squad that they've assembled together. And then you couple that with what you've just said there. They're a family. They literally are a family. That's how they behave. It's just wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, I definitely. Alex Wasledge, Gio and Barlas are in different leagues in the dance department, bless them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel a feature coming on from a dance-off for Chio and Barlasser.
Yeah, there you go. On the dance floor at Mason's, Chio against Barlasser. There you go.
Here we go.
We'll have to get in touch and sort that out. That'd be incredible.
That's just there's nobody's ever going to take any bets on who's going to win that, are they? What would be the point to that? Sorry, Dan.
Can we just make sure that's a end of season do and not like at weekend, because I really don't fancy them two being out for the rest of the season.
No, they're exactly. Yeah, we'll do it at the end of the season. Absolutely. And Scott Goody mentioned Zicky with his son was very special. Yeah, it was. It was very special. And let's finish with some stats. It's genuinely a historic day. Paul Warne is the first manager to manage 2 wins at Wembley for Rotherham United. Richard Wood, Joe Mattek, Michael Smith are the first players to win twice at Wembley for Rotherham United. And Richard Wood is the first person to captain Rotherham United twice at Wembley and win. And these are brilliant. They're just special, amazing. And I love every single one of them. They're amazing. From Paul Warne to Richie Barker to every single player. They've all earned it. And I'm so proud that they're my football club. I know I'm not speaking right well, but they are my football club. They're our football club. And I love them for a lot. They stay forever, won't he? Give him a lifetime contract, Tony, because he deserves it. Absolutely deserves it. Boys, anything else you want to talk about? Any moment from the day? Well,
I have one, if that's okay. Tweet of the day actually is a Paul Warne comment which Paul Davies posted yesterday. Mills boss Paul Warne, I've given the lads Monday off, and no doubt they'll be useless in training on Tuesday.
Well, I have just seen a comment saying someone met Harding and Miller in Box Park after the game. So that just sums it up. I think they're all in absolute states today. They'll be copulating like eels after today, won't they? But I tell you what, when can't you go on the lash after you've won a cup final at Wembley? I know we've still got 7 games to play, but well, I just hope they're not too sore on Monday, both in muscles and in the head.
Yeah, and Phil Rawlinson under the record. We have the record for the most goals scored in an AFL trophy and in the final as well. This team's already broke records. They've brought the unbeaten record this season in terms of the team breaking these records.
You said that, but we haven't broke the most important record, have we? And that's the thing, you know, the attendance record. I mean, we're not even come close, and this is what disappoints me more than anything else. You know, it's just so disappointing that we'll never ever be able to achieve those heights. But you know,
yeah.
I thought we was going to talk about the points record. Then it's like, oh yeah, you've got a point. But as soon as you said attendance, it's like, oh no, here we go.
It's just serious. Don't start taking mickey out of it. It's an important issue that we need to address. We never seem to address it on this podcast, do we? No. It's all little club. Let's look at us. You know, we're really proud to be part of this club. Well, we're not, are we? Because there ain't enough of us. They don't give a points it out, do they? Well, nobody from this club ever points it out. We've seen that everybody from all the other big clubs, they all point it out quite regularly.
Speaking of big clubs, Rotherham have won the most cup finals at Wembley. Yeah, the most cup finals out of all the teams in South Yorkshire since 1990. I just thought I'd chuck 1990 in so we can include Wednesday's 91 League Cup. But since then, we've won 2 cup finals. They've won 1. Barnsley have won 1, Doncaster won 1, and Sheffield United have won 0. Bless them. It's not the biggest club in South Yorkshire now, but they've won 2 cup finals.
Well, winning at Wembley is not for everybody, mate. Not everybody can hack it. Dan.
Yeah, true.
All right. So, you know. And Paul Brock mentions, Will, you didn't predict 4-2, but in the pre-show, you predicted a draw at full time with 2 further goals in extra time. You went 3-1. So, well, that's as close as we could get.
Yeah, it's a good effort, to be fair.
Yeah. I think we're done. I think I need to rest my voice. Thank you all for watching, listening today. I hope it's been listenable and watchable with our voices. Hopefully better for the next episode. Subscribe on YouTube if you're not already. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter. Get involved. Oh, I should also mention we are speaking to Chris Sedgwick in a couple of days' time. So if you've got any questions you want us to ask him, get in touch quick because we are speaking in literally a day or two's time. So send them over to Twitter, RUFC_pod, or the email, rufcpod@gmail.com. And any questions you want us to ask him, that are reasonable, we will ask them to him. And that'll be in the summer. We'll save it for summer after the serious business is done. I'm out of breath now. Mick, it's been a pleasure to spend the weekend with you. I enjoyed yesterday. It's been a pleasure to relive it to you today. Thank you very much.
Oh, is that how we going now?
Unless you have something else to talk about.
I was listening, to be honest. I drifted off there. Your voice was so soothing, Matt. I just drifted off.
Yeah, thanks, Mick.
Back Thursday. See you later.
Yeah. Thank you, Danny. Pleasure. Always a pleasure to speak to you, Danny. Nice to see you yesterday as well.
Yeah, no worries at all. I'll leave you all with this nice rendition of Don't You Know, Pump It Up. The Reds have won the cup. Don't you know, pump it up.
And well, it's always a pleasure to have you on the pod. I didn't see you yesterday, but it would have been nice to see you. But I've seen you now. That's all that matters.
Well, I mean, maybe we can go back to Wembley, further down the line, and we can meet up and do all that thing again. Or we could
4 years.
4 years time. That'll do. Although we'll be in Premier League by that point, so
True, very true. FA Cup final.
Can we get a rendition from you of Don't You Know, Pump It Up? The Reds have won the cup.
I don't think so. No.
Go on, Matt.
All about the views.
I don't think it's worth it. Thank you, everybody. You've been a pleasure to be with tonight, and we will see you all next time. Thank you, everybody.
Credits on one-on-one. The credit turning shoot container shot. Unbelievable! Apologies to the neighbours.